get into the Word of God. Well, and I know God got a word to bless your life. We're going to be talking about His voice making the difference. His voice making the difference. And the biggest thing that the enemy will try to do in your relationship with God is to prevent you from hearing from God. Right? Because most of you love God enough that if you directly hear from God or know it is from God, something on the inside propels us to comply with those words. No matter the struggle, no matter how tough it may be, when we hear from God, inside of us is that we got to do it attitude. So what the devil tries to do is prevent you from hearing God from the beginning. He don't mind you dancing, shouting. He don't mind how well you sing. He don't care about none of those things. But he does care about is that you don't hear from God. You do not allow the word of God to enter your ear gate. Don't let it get into your spirit, because he knows you love him. Most people may not serve God like you, but their love for God can't be questioned. Amen. Amen. He said, well, you know, Jesus said you love me, you know, you'll obey. But you don't know the fight on the inside of that individual. Okay. We can't question. We can't. The only thing we can do is give people what God, thus saith the Lord, and allow people to build that relationship with God. Amen. 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 Now, we can't change the Bible. If you love doing bad to people, hurting people, lying on people, well, you can't say you love God if that's what you enjoy. Amen. But when you have your own personal issues and God is directing you to a better place, nobody can question how much you love God in that. Amen. Do you understand? Amen. All right? You can't look back and say, well, I can tell you right now, they ain't that. No, no. You can't look back and do nothing but mind your business. Amen. That's the best thing you can do. Some of the things the devil will try to do to prevent you from hearing from God is having sin in your life. Sin, because you're not perfect, don't mean you will miss heaven. Don't mean you're going to hell. All right, y'all understand that? What sends you to hell is that you don't believe Jesus died on the cross for your sins, and that Father God raised him up on the third day. Perfection is not the thing to get you into heaven. Amen. I hope y'all understand that. All right? So he'll have sin or sinful thoughts. Sin blocks your hearing from God. And if you can't hear from God, you can't grow in God. Are you listening? You don't grow in God because you got 100 things not to do and another 100 things to do. That's not going to cause you to grow in God. Because you're starting to live under the law. You're starting to act like you're under the Mosaic law, the Abrahamic law. But God said it's not with the law that I want to reach you now. I want to reach you with love. I want us to develop a relationship that whatever I want, you got a desire and a passion to give it to me. Amen. So sin and sinful thoughts, shame and guilt. All of us done did something. My mama said something that done did something. You don't want nobody to know about. Did something that you may regret. Something that produced guilt. And this is what you have to understand. As long as you think I don't have a right to be in the presence of God, you won't seek to get there. Come on. Come on. You've done wrong. You've messed up. You lied. You did something you wasn't supposed to. Okay, it wasn't right. No matter what I say is ever going to make that right. But you can't allow that to keep you from God. That's a trick of the devil to try to make you shameful and make you feel guilty so that you won't even go to God. You so bashful as if he don't already know. Not only does he not just know now, he knew before you was conceived in your mother's womb. He knew. The other thing he keeps you trying to put in your life to keep you from hearing from God is depression and oppression. Depression and oppression. Depression is something that's internal, something that's inside of you, causing you to think wrong, believe wrong, expect wrong. And what happens is, because you believe it, you're fully persuaded in it, it brings about a feeling and an emotion that say everything is not going to be all right. That depression is something that you control. The idea, the thought, the heaviness. Most people try to medicate depression, but when it's a demonic presence that's weighing you down, medication ain't going to get that devil off. Come on now. Are you listening to me? The only thing you can do is start praying in the Holy Ghost. Start thanking God. Start thinking on the goodness of Jesus and all that he done for you. That's the only thing you can do. Get your mind right. Because if you keep your mind stayed on him, he'll keep you in perfect peace. So depression is not to be medicated. Oppression is something, when you study the word oppression is something that's done on the outside. Somebody don't like you and is causing you grief and pain and heartache. Well, you know, back in slavery, that was called oppression. Why? Because it was something that a people were doing to people just because you look different. Just because of the rights I have to do it. I'm going to put pressure on you to break you, to hurt you, to belittle you. Oppression comes usually from someone you can't whoop. Oppression don't come from somebody you can slap in the mouth and make him shut up. They don't call too much oppression. Oppression is usually from someone that not only wants ill on your life, but has the power or the influence or in a position to make it happen. So when they oppress you, it's because they can do it. They can get away with it. If you could stop them, you would. We're not oppressed by people we can whoop. We're oppressed by people that are using their positions. Let me go a little bit deeper. Maybe even using their skin color to do things to you that will try to harm, belittle, make you sadden. Those things, God say, those are things the devil will try to keep you out of the presence of God. Because it takes your mind somewhere God never intended. Come on. These things come to block what God wants to say to you. Because as long as you fight in a battle, as long as you are being overcome and overwhelmed, listen to me, you're not oppressed because somebody don't like you. You become oppressed when it means something to you. Right. Amen. Do you hear me? Amen. Just because you don't like me don't mean I'm oppressed. Amen. Just because you tell me I'm something that I'm not don't mean I'm oppressed. Amen. But the moment I start to believe it, it starts to have an effect on my life. Come on. Come on. There's a lot of people that don't like you. Right. That don't mean they have the power to oppress you. Right. That's why you're not hearing from God when you allow somebody to oppress you. You're nothing. You're a second-class citizen. You're the scum of the earth. Well, until you believe it, those words are just words. Right, true. As long as I keep hearing from God, they say, you're a second-class citizen. God said, but you're mine. Yes. You're the scum of the earth. I'm the head and not the tail. Yes. I'm the lender, not the bar. I'm above and not beneath. Yes. As long as you can hear God, when others are trying to make you something that you're not, most people will succumb to a statistic just because they know. Well, if you were brought up in a home without your father, if you were brought up like this, then there's a 98% chance you'll be like that. Now, if like that requires me to do less, so many people will embrace it. They look for a reason to just be nothing. The devil will use guilt and shame to keep you from getting it right with God. When you look at your life and you want to come to God and get yourself together, he's trying to make you feel so bad, you don't even know how to start the conversation. You've been sitting there, all sad and depressed. No. Listen, the first thing you got to do is open your mouth. God, I'm sorry. Listen, I don't care. And this is what the devil tried to make you think. Just saying you're sorry ain't enough. Says who? Says who? That's the intro to me changing my life. You know what you feel on the inside. See, only people on the outside need more evidence. You and God don't need more evidence. No, stop thinking how people is how God is. People say, yeah, he's saying sorry, but watch their actions. God don't need to see your actions. God already know your heart. God said, I know even the very thoughts you have in your mind. God know how many days you sat pondering how you gonna come to him. How bad you felt about what you did. How many mistakes you made. God said, I'm just waiting, I'm waiting on you. I know your thoughts, I know your heart, I know all about you. So when you tell God I'm sorry, God said, I knew that 3 days ago. When you were sitting there crying, when you talk to me because of what you did. See, you don't need to prove it. Come on now. You need to walk in it. God, I'm sorry. And when you tell God that you're sorry, what happens next is you begin to open up a dialogue with God. I'm sorry. And then all of a sudden you hear a racket of questions. Well, how did you even get there? I started hanging out with my sister, my brother, my cousin, my auntie, my best friend. I started hanging out. I went to the cookout. I went to the company's party. But listen, immediately we start getting information on how to rectify what got us there so we won't have to go back there again. Come on now. You say, God, I'm sorry. And God said, I know you're sorry, but now we need to understand, how did you even get here? How did you want to, what brought your mind to this place? How did you go from here to here? And you start thinking, now this is what you don't understand. Once you hear God, your mind starts to regurgitate what happened, role play, what happened, what you should have did, what you could have did, what you ought to did. And the next thing you know, now here's what you got to understand. Because I'm wiser after this episode, the next test I'm going to pass. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to pass. I'm not going to give in. I don't care how I feel. I don't care how bad it is. I'm not going to give in. God loves you you strong enough to win your heart. And no matter what state you're in, his love is so real. Let me tell you something. Well, you know, it is what it is. When you see somebody marry somebody, you say, I don't know how she got him. I don't understand how he got her. Somebody know how to love.
Amen. Amen.
You understand?
Amen.
God has a way of getting into your life. You stopping whatever you're doing going to be easier the closer you get to him. No. He's not a God. Let me tell you something. He's not a God that you got to be, oh, please. No. Let me tell you something. Get to know him. Start walking with him. Start talking with him. Every time you mess up and you don't enjoy that company, it makes you want to stop whatever you're doing. You know, listen. No matter what relationship you're in, the moment you think the person you're in love with might leave, it gets your attention. Their presence is not there. Their phone calls are not there. Their text is not there. Well, God says, when you start pulling away from me, I'll love you in a way you'll miss it. Amen. Oh, no, you're gonna want forgiveness, and I've already have it out for you. You're going to want to reunite, and I'm going to accept you with open arms. I know they're telling you get right before you come. I'm telling you come. We'll talk about the get right later. Amen. So you got to understand, God's love is strong enough to win your heart. And your submission to his word will produce mind-blowing results. Stop thinking what the world wants is what you need in order to show God is an awesome God. Peace of mind is enough. You don't know how valuable peace is until you live without it. You don't know how awesome and mightyful peace is until you had to live under a stressful situation and live it out. The devil will do everything to keep you from talking to God, hanging out with God, also known as worshiping God. He'll do everything he can to stop, because God is going to respond to his child. In your mind, he'll make you think God don't want to talk to you. Not until you fix it. Not until you fix it. Well, you can't fix what you did yesterday. It's done. So true. That's done. I mean, you done robbed the bank. Go on to jail. Do your time. But no, God love you while you're locked up. You can't undo anything. He said, well, you know, I can at least go apologize. You can go apologize, but that ain't going to undo it. Apology is as good as the person you're giving it to, and them believing that you're not going to do it again. Most people say they accept your apology, and they don't accept it. They're watching you. Amen. What they're saying is, I accept your apology. What they're really saying is, I'm going to watch you and see what you really are about, because first off, you ain't coming back in here. He said, I'm sorry, man, I stole that stuff off your counter. He said, all right, I accept your apology. Well, you ain't come, no, you can't come back in. Most apologies don't come with a reinstatement to do it again. Right, true. I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. I believe you. Because if you do it again, it won't be to me. No, listen to me. You want to get to the place, stop thinking you can fix what you did yesterday. You got to be godly sorry in your heart you did it. That you can't, listen, if the devil keep making you think you are what you did yesterday, you'll never grow up to be what God wants you to be today. Everybody did something wrong. See, the thing is, because we sin different, we somehow think people ought to be damned until they get our approval. No, it ain't that easy. Why it ain't? Why ain't that easy? Why can't we receive the love of God? Some of us, we need to receive the love because Jesus said in St. John chapter 11, without me he can do nothing. So therefore I need the love of God for me to change. And you want me to change. Because last time I stole the money off the counter. Next week I'm planning to break in while you're at work. You need God. You need me to change. Amen. You come home from work, you ain't going to have a TV hanging nowhere. Jury box gone, everything gone. You got the safe locked, but I took it with me, so I'll get it open one day. No, listen. When people want to change, let them change. Let them grow in God. Encourage them to get to God. Don't act like they're at your mercy. The devil don't want you talking to God. The moment you open your mouth up to God, God's going to hear you because you're speaking from a place of I'm sorry. Do you listen to me? The only time you can feel guilty is if you're really sorry about something. If you're not really sorry, you don't feel no guilt. See, when people got an excuse or they can justify what they did, they ain't sorry. You listen to people, they say, yeah, I'm like, listen, my bad. But if you hadn't did, no. Ain't no if you. If you're sorry, you're sorry. That's it. You can't justify your wrong and then also lace it with I'm sorry. Because listen, when you're sorry, you have intentions not to do it again. Or look like some of y'all say, well, I guess I ain't sorry then. Here are some of the things the devil will try to use to keep you from God. We already talked about depression and abandonment and guilt and a number of other things. And here's the thing. The devil knows how loving God is. That's why he don't want you in his presence. That's why he don't want you to keep being focused and faithful to God. He wants you to think your coming is in vain. Your coming is not in vain because your coming is I love God. Listen, I understand until I improve my ways that I can't grow in God, but I'm not about to disconnect God because I'm not growing. Did you catch that? I may not be growing in God, but I'm not about to disconnect from him altogether, hoping one day I grow without him. If I ain't growing with him, then I know I ain't going to grow without him. But I will not disconnect from him. Go to Psalm 34 and 17. Psalms 34 and 17. That devil want to get your mind as if you serving a God that don't love. Most people don't know the love of God, and it keeps them away from God.
Yes.
People miss church because they don't know how much God loves them. Guilt and shame, embarrassment and humiliation. Don't ever give nobody enough power or influence to keep you out of church.
Amen.
Some of y'all gonna get lied on, some of y'all get talked about. Some of it, people gonna talk about you and it may not be a lie. And guess what? You got to let people know your words will not derail what I want to be in God.
Amen.
Now I saw you. I remember you used to be drunk out there on something. Yeah, okay. And what does that mean? People, and they get mad when their words don't pack influence over your decision making. I remember when you was smoking that stuff. I remember you win. and like the less you feed into what they remember, it seems like the more upset they get. I remember. You ain't what you think. Or you ain't got that fool, but you ain't with God. All this started over you remembering what I was. Now we all up by you got some people fooled and this. And listen, in most cases, if people would just mind their business, they'd be in a better place. Some people upset that they wanted to do it and couldn't. Tried to do it and got caught. You did it and got away. You did it and got no scars. You ever seen somebody come out the streets and all of a sudden their life is just brand new? Man, I'm telling you, somebody else been out the streets, that person been on the street for 10 years. Come out, their life is brand new. Restored, happily married. I mean, everything going good. They've been out on the streets for 1 month. They can't get their life together no more. They lost their job, car got repossessed, they facing eviction. Now they gonna talk about what they remember about you. You don't need to get your mind on what you remember. You need to get your eyes on what you see.
Yes, Lord.
You need to see the change in my life, and that's what you need to implement.
Come on now.
Stir it up in my business. Tell me something. The man she got, he was married when they met. And what business of that is yours? That's why your life is a mess. You're so busy. You know, I'm telling you that word so powerful to me. You'll never have what you're willing to destroy. You want to destroy somebody else's character, but you think yours going to be pristine. Who you really are coming into life. And listen, as good as you think you are, you don't see the ugly until you open your mouth against somebody else, especially those of the household of faith. I'm going to leave that alone. Psalms 34 and 17. Listen to this. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Verse 18. broken heart. God said, I'm standing right there with you. I told you I'd never leave you, never say, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. It don't matter that you date somebody you had no business. He broke your heart, and I'm here to mend it back together again. Church folk will tell you, well, he shouldn't have been gay. You knew it was our mother's number. You know he was a terrorist when you met him. You knew he was going to blow up that building. You knew. Listen, it's all right. My heart is broken. God, people don't understand how much God forgives and loves.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Amen.
He never throw in your face, I told you so. He said right there, he said, the broken heart, I'm right there with you. And save if such as be of a contrite spirit. When your spirit is broken, that's that depression starts coming. You got all bad things on your mind. God said, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. Go to Isaiah 41 and 10. Isaiah 41 and 10. It is comforting to know that I serve a God that will never leave me, nor forsake me. Do you hear me? I serve a God that will always be there for me. What if you mess up? He's still going to be there. Now, he's never going to make my wrong right, but he'll be there. That's how I learned how to be a good father. It don't matter what my kids go through, I'll always be your father. Now, I tell you this all the time. There's nothing they can do to make me to stop loving. But there are some things they can do to make them stop living with me, though. You understand? You can work on an eviction quick, but I'll always love you. You may not live in the neighborhood you want to live in. Come on now. But I'll always be here for you. Depending on the neighborhood, I'm leaving before the sun go down. Come on now. And you don't need an overnight bag around Thanksgiving. You don't let them, that's a good time to go pick them up so you can see what they bringing with them. Wait, where you going? Where you going to the bag? You figured wrong. You figured wrong. Put the suitcase back. Don't even need a duffel bag. Oversized pocketbook will do you. But you'll always be mine. I'm just, listen, if you got to go to court, whether you're guilty or innocent, you're still going to be mine. Now, I don't know how much money I'm going to give toward the attorney fees if you're guilty. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. It don't make no sense. They say, well, if they're yours, they are mine. But they don't, listen to me. There are things you can do that exempt you from getting what I got.
Amen. Amen.
Now, Jesus said, I gave one talent, I gave one 2 talent, I gave one 5 talent. Based off what they did with what I gave them, determine whether or not I'll give them some more. I'm not as good as Jesus. If Jesus said he ain't giving up no more to the one that didn't do nothing with the one, well, who am I? I can't walk water. I can't turn water into wine. Listen to me. He said no matter whether you're guilty or innocent, I'm your father. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Now, here's what you got to understand. God is saying, I'm going to fix your situation. The latter part of that, I'm going to fix your situation, but we still going to be right. I'm not going to help you steal nothing to pay your bills. You understand that? Amen. I'm going to uplift you, but we're going to be right. I'm going to find you a job. Listen, I'm going to help you. Now you can think, why ain't nobody business? I'm just throwing stuff out. I'm going to help you, but I ain't going to help you with me living here and him. Somebody got to go. I'm going to help you, but we going to be right when I help you. And ain't nobody going to be able to question whether or not it was God. Which means we ain't going to lie on the application. Lord have mercy, you know we like it. Well, you know some of y'all, you'd say whatever needs to be said. Okay. What, the December? About another 60, 90 days. If them ain't your key hits, you ain't got no business putting them on the paper. You understand? You can't be getting the Social Security numbers and stuff from people and trying to file. Come on, come on. No, you can't do it. God said, I'm gonna help you, but we're gonna be right. Fear thou not, I am with thee. Dude, listen, if you don't believe that, you'll be miserable when you're in the battle. You'll be thinking you're going to get to be defeated. He said, I'm with you. That's powerful. Listen, I don't care what nobody tell you, to know who God is, to know how much he loves you, and to hear him say, I'm with you, that right there is reassuring you that no matter what I'm going through, I'm going to be all right. Now, I may not be able to use my tricks of the trade to get through this.
Right.
And if I'm not used to doing it God's way, I'm going to feel a little uncomfortable because I don't trust it. You mean we're going to tell the truth on the application and submit it? See, yeah, we're going to sit there, we're going to tell the people that you ain't got no 2 kids, you got 5, and then they ain't going to give it to me. Because I got to have so many bits. Listen, God said, you want my help or not? Because we ain't about to lie on the application if you want. Yeah, how you going to lie on the application and then ask somebody, sit on Facebook, keep me in your prayers, I applied for it. Come on, man. God said, I love you just the way you are. Come talk to me. I don't care how you look, what you did, come talk to me. But you ain't going to get me to go on board with these lies. So God is saying, I'm going to uplift you, but we're going to have to do it the right way. Go to Joshua 1 and 5. This abandonment thing, making the devil trying to make you feel like you by yourself. Sometimes you got to keep telling yourself, God is with me. God is with me. God, and then you need to understand, what does that really mean? If God is with me, what does that really mean? Listen to me, when you know you're with somebody that know how to fight, and something pop off, man, just looking over there at them, man, that's reassuring. Especially when you don't know how to fight too much. And it's even better when they know you don't know how to fight. Because they know not to expect no help. Climb a pole or a tree and stay there until the fight is over. No, listen, look at this. God ain't going to abandon you. Say that, God is always with me.
God is always with me.
There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. Look at this right here changes everything. I don't care what you're going through. I will not fail thee. Whatever I say I'll do, I'll do it.
Yes.
I don't need the devil's help to do nothing in your life. If I said I got a good life for you, I got a good life for you, period. A man called me and he's telling me, he said he got shipments that can be delivered. Some come, I guess, from Florida on up. Some come from California over to the East Coast. He gonna tell me, if you want to make some real money, he said you can do these deliveries, and he said don't ask no questions. What you say now? Don't ask no questions. He called me all kind of, he talked with a lot of profanity. He said, if you want to make some real money, I'm talking about real money, I'll keep the fake money. I'll keep the fake money. You ain't gonna have me up there locked up and all this foolishness. No, the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. You ever had Big Bubba sitting there licking this chocolate I swear you breaking the law was the best thing ever happened to Big Bubba. Let me go, please. Listen, he said, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so shall I be with thee. I will not fail thee. Yes. I will not fail thee. What I said is true. Focus on my word and not on your ability. Focus on what I want to do in your life. How I can uplift you. Focus on that. Do not focus on all this other garbage from the world or what should happen to you. Focus on my word. Focus on what I did for David, I'll do the same thing for you. Focus on that. Focus that when Paul was doing wrong, thinking he was doing right. Focus on how I got his attention and he became one of my greatest disciples. Focus on that. Don't focus on what people think should be done to you, nor forsake thee. See, here's the thing about truth. When you start standing in truth, God said, I ain't never going to abandon you. I'm right here. Whatever go down, it's you and me. Whatever, listen, you don't know how powerful God is if you are still depressed when you read this scripture? Why don't this scripture change your attitude and your mindset? Go to Psalm 68 and 5. God ain't ever going to abandon you. He loves you too much. Who's going to get paid to give them all he got, the best gift he got? He give it up to have you, and you think he going to abandon you? The devil is a liar. You're not by yourself.
Amen.
No matter what that devil tell you, he lying, and the truth ain't in him. A father of the fatherless and a judge. Now, you know, I like the word judge. Some translations use the word protector, but I like the word judge because what this is I'm going to still weigh out what's right and what's wrong. You understand? A judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. Listen, that latter part I read when he says, and a judge to the widows, this is who God is in the fullness. In the best that God, this is who he is. He's a father to the fatherless.
Yes.
Listen, as a father, the greatest name you could ever be called is being called the father. A dad. Not a seed donor, but a dad. When you hit the scene, now we take it any kind of way you want. I don't care what situation you in. When your father steps on the scene, you have instant peace. Instant peace. He's our father. If you ain't got nobody, now listen here. You may not have had a natural father to feel that. God said that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I have been, this is no lie, this happened to me. I was outside working on, we had the excursion, and I was outside and I was working. And so I was doing something over here, and I had my hand inside on the engine, like inside where the engine is, and I was looking, and the hood fell down on my hand. Now, I don't know if y'all know anything about Ford Excursion, but that hood is a little bit heavier than average.
Right.
And the wood and the hood slammed down, bam, until it latched. Now I know that in most cases, something should be hurt. I'm going to tell you something. I was outside. I know what the temperature was, but there was a warmth and an escape from all pain. No, literally, pull my hand from underneath the hood. Absolutely not a scratch on my hand. Now, why is that important? Because a father protects.
Yes.
Anything that I can do to prevent you from being hurt, I'm going to walk that thing out.
Yes.
You know, it was right around the time I really was harping so hard to see angels and to experience them in my life. And, you know, I was reading books and articles, and I was just doing everything I can because I wanted angels in my life. And there are so many times I would have encounters. And because all I wanted my flesh to identify. Spiritually, I'm 100. But I wanted my flesh to connect with the realness of God. So there would be times I would be driving my truck, and I would nod off. And I would hit a bump that would knock me almost to the ceiling of the truck. Like a speed bump in the middle of the highway.
Wow.
And you say, well, how do you know that that was an angel? Because the back tires never hit. No, I'm serious. I mean, no, when you drive a truck long enough, you wait for the second impact. So there are things I've seen. I ride my bike. I was on my motorcycle. Now, I don't know if you know this, but you can kill yourself on a motorcycle going 15 miles an hour. You hit a pole or something, you can literally lose your life. Well, I was coming up Buck Road, just got off 55. Twice this happened to me, and I was going about 55 miles an hour. A deer jumped out in front of my bike. When he jumped, this is no lie, God knows I'm telling the truth. When he jumped out in front of my bike, he hit a glass wall. I could see the deer bang up against a glass wall and fall backwards. Twice that happened to me. See, now, why is that important? Because when God is on your side, I know, listen to me, the devil will target you to destroy you. God said he can target all he wants. He can target all he wants. I got something to hold. Listen, you know, sometimes you get a little scared over nothing. You panicking and freaking out. Because don't embrace everything the devil tried to tell you and show you. Every pain you feel ain't a heart attack.
That's right.
Some of it is just a lie. Listen, before you start freaking out and falling out, breathing heavy and popping pills, tell that devil, get your hand off me. Amen. Amen. Because the fight is not going to be what you say. It's going to be the God you serve. I'm a father to the fatherless. And anything that now why does it say widows? Because in the Bible time, women were treated like second-hand citizens. And in some countries, that's still the case. That you don't have the same rights as a man. So it was easy for someone to dominate. They would take your land. If a man didn't have a son and passed, his daughters should get the land, but in some cases they'll take that land from her because she's not a male. Well, God said, don't you worry about that. I'll tell you what's right. Yes. This is who God is at his best. Yes. Do you hear me? Guilt is always about doing what God has already done. When the devil tries to have you look at your life and look at what's wrong and try to make it your fault, that's all about you. You're not thinking about what God already did. He's already forgiven you. He's already said, I'm giving my son so that you can walk in the fullness of life. So it's about you forgiving yourself. How can you put yourself in a prison that keep you away from God? So now, once you get to the place that you know you're feeling guilty, is at that time, I got to now get the keys. If I'm the one putting me in here, I'm the one going to get me out. I'm going to talk to God. No matter what that devil tell you about your problem, your situation, how much of it is your fault, I'm going to talk to God. Are you listening to me? Listen, the development of your mind in thanks is essential. Now this is what's important. If I'm going to hear God's voice, even when I come here, I got to come correct. Yes. Enter into his gates with thanks and with something to give. Yes. Are you listening to me? Yes. Now most people say, well, you talking about getting that money. No, if that's all you got to give God is money, you can't be much for God. Amen. Amen. Do you hear me? Amen. All right? Enter into his gates with thanksgiving. You got to start getting your mind on thanks. Yes. You got to thank God for all that he's done in your life. Start thinking about all the mistakes you made and God still forgave you, brought you out, going through a problem that don't last forever. All the enemies that you had, and yet whatever they had planned for your life, God said, no, it's not going to happen. Not today. Not today. All that you have overcome, those are the things you get on your mind and you start thanking God. You start thanking him about where he brought you from, who wanted to damage your life, who wanted to destroy you, but God brought you out and redeemed you. Why do I need to keep thanking him and keep these things on my mind? Because whatever God did before, he'll do again. So therefore, I'm not about to sit around and be sad and moping. I'm going to talk to God. People are not going to tell me whether or not I qualify to be in his presence. People are not going to tell me whether or not God is my father or is he not. He is my father. He is my protector. He is my God. Listen, no matter what's going on in my life, I got a God that knows the truth and still loves me. You're the only one with a problem with that. When people have a problem about what God is in your life, they have a problem because something ain't right inside of them. And their words don't matter. Lord have mercy, their words don't matter. And listen, this you can take to the bank. Everybody that is against you, they're not against you. They're against the God you serve. Because anybody that wants to tear you down got the devil on the inside of them. And the only thing the devil target is God in somebody's life. If you get rid of God, you'll avoid the target. Now all you're dealing with is life misery. But if you ever make up your mind, for God I live and for God I die, you're going to find that devil coming after you. People you thought you could trust, people you thought would always be by your side, God said, listen to me, you better keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. The Bible said, watch as well as pray. You sitting there got your eyes trusting in the wrong people? Everybody got to pass the spiritual test. If God is not on the inside of you, if God is not your Lord and your Savior, you don't want to live to do right. What do you mean by that, Pastor? If they're trying to tear down somebody else, your turn is coming up. So therefore, whatever God has done for you, start getting that on your mind. Get the glad glass. Start thanking Him about all that He's done. Look over your life and see what God has done. When you lost your job and thought that was going to be it, and thought that things was going to get back, and God said, I'm setting you up for something greater. And listen, it doesn't matter all that has happened in your life. What matters is it didn't get the victory. It didn't overtake you. It didn't overwhelm you. You didn't lose your mind. There are so many people that have went through more than what you've gone through, less than what you've went through, and they still are out there trying to figure it out. You, on the other hand, have gone through, look back over your life and just telling them, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I saw what I never wanted to do, but thank you, God. You ain't got to get mad that people walked out of your life. I'm thankful that they left when they did. Before they could do too much damage, I got you out of my life. You got to know you got serving a God that wants to bring joy into your life. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. All that's good and perfect come from you. So therefore, no matter what I'm faced with, I'm going to talk to God. It don't matter whether I'm guilty. It don't matter whether you're trying to make me feel ashamed. I'm going to talk to God. Because God is my Father, and beside Him, there is no other. You got to make up your mind, I'm going to live for Him. The old folk used to sing a song, I come by here to stay on until I die. You got to make up your mind, I'm going to stay with Jesus. If you make up your mind, you're going to stay with Him. Oh, the devil's still going to come. You making up your mind, you're going to live for Him. Ain't going to stop that devil. No. He going to come. He going to do everything he can to rob you of your joy. God said for every move He made, I got 3 moves to bring you joy. For every move He make on your life, on your joy, on your finances, He said, I got 3 or 4 moves. I can listen, you worried about stuff that God ain't losing no sleep over. No. And then when you hang around real faith-walking people, you upset that they're not sad with you. You don't hang around people that's going to jump in the trench with you. Both of us in the trench now. Somebody need to throw a rope. Amen. 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 Don't come down here to us, if you down there, I'm going, no. If I'm down here in the trenches, you need to learn how to get me up out of here. Stop trying to hang around people that's going to be sympathetic until your misery. And all you're going to be around somebody that's going to say, girl, you better shake that thing. You better stop talking about it. Stop thinking about it. We need to go ahead, do something, get yourself together. Now, you don't do, listen, that person ain't your friend if they're looking for you to try to make matters worse. Your lights off and they say, baby, we just need to go shopping. That's the devil. Cut them loose. Yes. You need somebody to say, listen here, all you need to do is take what you got, pay them, call them people, tell them you're going to work something out, God going to do something, God going to be. Listen, you can't sit idle waiting for God to show up and you ain't going to do nothing. Right. That's true. Right. Call them, tell them you ain't got the 500 and you're going to give them the rest and tell them to do your workout plan. They say, I messed up the workout plan already. Well, tell them you need another workout plan to mess up then. Y'all know it. But we need the lights on. And listen, you don't need that friend coming over talking about, oh, child, that Negro don't pay no child support. That's why you going through like this. And then such and such, you didn't help so many other people, and ain't nobody here. That you don't need that. Right. You don't need that. All they're doing now is getting you hating people. Right. I don't know why when people go down, they think other people supposed to jump down there with them. Listen to me. Do you know just because you help me today don't guarantee I'm going to be able to help you tomorrow? Amen. Right. Amen. So you can't help me as an investment. Right. Amen. You may not get no return. Amen. 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 You hear me? You need to help me because you love me or you feel led to help me, but you can't be helping me talking about something I'll catch up with you later. You may not catch me. Where you at, boy? I'm gone. Listen, you can't be trying to help people thinking you're going to cash in that chip. Right. That's true. You know, listen to me. Don't nobody owe you nothing. That's right. Just don't. That's right. When I had my car, well, you ain't got no car now. Now, who you are is either who you going to be, all right, or you going to change because of other people. Amen. You pick me up and you drop me off. Thank you. Now your car is down and mine is up. You gonna call me? I can't make it. Now you mad. Right. Now whether I legitimately cannot make it or I don't want to, it shouldn't change who you are. Amen. Amen. Now you sit up there and I can't stand them. That's why I ain't gonna help nobody, because nobody wanna help me. And you gonna help them for the wrong reason.
Amen. Amen.
Everything you go through, God said you need to know, I'm still with you.
Amen.
With God, no matter what you go through, you come out better.
Amen.
Go through a financial storm, I guarantee you, go through with God, and you'll never see that place again.
Come on now. Come on.
You don't know how you got there? That, you know, when people go through, you take this any kind of way you want, it's free of charge. When people go through a financial storm, financial embarrassment, and they learn, they never spend their last on foolishness. No, man, they always keeping something. Because I know I already been through this. Come on, man. Come on, man. Go out. We're going to hang out. No. Now, you can say what you want. If you learn how to budget, learn how to stretch your money right, you ain't going to have it. You ain't got to worry about stop spending. You just not that type of spender.
Right.
You know, let me tell you something. This is the God's own truth. I go to Macy's a lot. A lot of my clothes come from Macy's. But I always buy from my friend that's working. If Clarence is not there, I don't usually purchase nothing. Right? There are things I see. I say, man, that is nice. And then immediately I ask how much it costs. Because what it costs determines how nice it is. No, I look at it and I say, oh my God, that is nice. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice right there. Ooh, you pick out that little sticker. You say, oh, no. That ain't nice no more. Listen, I go over to Clarence, and Clarence always got good stuff for me. I ain't got no shame. I don't live for people, so it don't matter. It don't matter what people think about me. Everything you see me with mostly comes from Clarence. If it's high end, Clarence. That's just the truth. This Rolex is used. Ain't no brand new Rolex. I ain't got no brand new Rolex money. I don't care what people think. I want it because I like it. And it was within my budget. I ain't got to be out here trying to impress nobody. Trying to act like I'm all in the bag of chips. No. I looked at some shoes one time. I said, man, these shoes is all that. I looked at them shoes, they were $1,100. Them days over. No, I'm telling you, I bought Gators before. That was $1,500. That was in my dumb day. But I done went through some stuff. And you look at them Gators say, don't look at me. I can't help you. You go through some stuff with God, you'll never go back there again. Go through some things with God. Go deal with people with God on your side. Those type of people will never get in your circle again. I tell people this all the time. You know, when people get in your circle and they trying to make you trust them, them the ones you better watch. Because I don't need you to trust me to be a good friend to you. No. I do not need, I'll go over to Mother Audrey's house. I don't need Pop to trust me for me not to steal. You don't trust me? You go on upstairs then. You don't trust me? No, you don't need trust to do the right thing. I tell you all the time, if Pop don't trust me, that's his problem. Looking over the panel. Paul, go downstairs and see what they do. He looking, setting up cameras and all that stuff. That's his problem. Only thing I need to make sure is that I'm not a thief. I don't need your trust to do right. Now, the only problem when even in relationships, you don't need trust to be happily married, is when you start accusing people because you don't trust. Is that perfume? That's air freshener, baby. That ain't no air freshener. That's roses. I know roses. When I smell roses, they just sniff the clothes. They look like they're stronger than a wet bag. I smell roses. And they just examining you and looking at you. Now come on, that's when it goes too far. But as far as you talking about something you don't trust, okay, then well, you don't trust. You look in your rearview mirror and you see your wife behind you, just keep on going. As long as you ain't going to the wrong place, what difference does it make? Just keep on trucking. It's when she cut you off, won't it? Pop the trunk, pop the trunk. You're like, calm down, what's wrong with you? If she in there, I'm gonna bust her head open, then I'm gonna bust your head open, then I'm gonna, you know the whole lot of busting. Now this here's on the New Jersey Turnpike. No, now that's when trust, you understand? Listen to me, when you have a heart to do right, you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about nobody trusting you. Just do right. Amen. Be you, be who you are. Don't allow people and how they respond to how good you are change who you are. Come on now. Amen. Come on. Everything you go through, God said, I'm going to take you higher. Amen. Yes. I'm going to take you higher. My wife and I get to live a better life because of all that we've gone through financially. That's just the truth. I look, and my wife, something happened with her shoe. I was going to replace them shoes, but the clearance wasn't working. Now, it don't make no sense. Listen here. I buy my wife some nice stuff. Why I ain't buy my wife no $1,700 pair of shoes? If clearance ain't working, she's a barefoot prophet. You're a barefoot prophet. All you gotta do is just be your, she got the hair all ready for it, you look, and just walking white, look all natural, and just say, Lord don't want me to wear shoes. People believe it. He might even give you a little stuff. No, man, I'm telling you something, man. I go through some things. I'm not as wasteful as people think. People see what I got, but they don't have no idea what I go through to get it. Amen. I'm not about trying to spend a whole bunch of money trying to impress people. You're crazy. I ain't got no problem asking, well, how much does it cost? Right. They don't give me no menu with no prices on it. What is this? I said, well, this here got the time of day on it. They said, no, Mr. Hatcher, that's the price. That's what? No, I ain't got no problem asking them. Listen, do I get refills on that? You ain't gonna come back to me with don't talk about something. Yeah, that's $300. What's $300? Every sip was $5. Tell me ahead of time. Right. I like good water with lemon. Very nice. I ain't got no problem with it. See, you need to know the lane you in. Because I'm going out don't mean I'm about to be stupid. Because I'm on vacation don't mean I'm going to be dumb. That's why I ain't going back to Miami. Spent $100 for lunch. One lunch we spent $100. That was good though, I ain't gonna lie. That was some good food. The other place, if my wife tells me she ordered French toast for $12, you get a slice and a half of French toast. They cut it down the middle. They don't come with nothing but a fork. Come with nothing but a fork, $12. And then they have all these lists of resort fees, tax, state tax, shouldn't have been here tax, we got your sucker tax, all the tax. Now when you start spending $60 and $70 for breakfast, man, I think you listen here, I'm here. I'm here, so you got me now. But you'll never get me again. Now I'm saying, whatever you pay to get there, you're gonna pay that with the first day. You go to Miami if you're fasting. You don't go to Miami. No, listen to me. Don't try to be all that when you know you ain't there. If that's what you want, then strive to get there. But everything you go through, God make you wiser. Especially with your money. Especially if you got your own business. Especially if you're the head of household. Can't be running and being all reckless. My wife can be reckless with her money. Because my wife knows that's her. She can do whatever she wants. She want to go out there and spend $200 on getting her nails done. That's her. Boom. That's it. That $200 ain't got nothing to do with the light bill. So she can be reckless. You can't look and see what Yolanda do and you try to do and you the head of the household. Right. Well, mama married to a rich man. So mama always go out there and buy a new car and bring it home. He said, that's what I want you to do, Paula. You understand? You go out there and get you a new car, now you ain't got nowhere to live. Now you living in the car. Right. No! Know the level you on. God has a way of maturing you. In everything you go through, don't you be down, don't you be sad, don't you be depressed. There's something for you to learn. You're going to grow from what you're going through. People that come into your life and act a fool, learn from them. Learn how to deal with, you go to college, you learn from people. You think everybody there just to learn. Some people there to cause hell. What they doing but get you ready for corporate America? People backstab you, that's fine. Learn from it. You sit up there crying all day. After all I did for them, all right, you did it. It's done. They backstabbed you. What you gonna do now? I want you to grow. Bow your heads. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for your people. They come to this place to get more of you. I pray, God, that absolutely nothing that's going on in their life will cause them